Good Saturday afternoon, February the 11th, 2023. In today's video, we're going to be continuing to talk about that weakened storm system that is now impacting the southeast, bringing impactful weather. And then we're going to be looking at next week's storm system, as that one looks pretty strong with severe weather, not just for one day, but for a couple of days. And then we're going to be looking at those temperatures, as we are looking at crazy temperature swings expected through much of next week. If you haven't already and you're new to the YouTube channel and you really like these videos, please consider subscribing right now, as it really helps out a lot. You guys have been doing really good at showing your awesome support as I provide as accurate weather information as I can possible. And also make sure you hit the like button so we can get this video out to over 100 likes. So first things first, we're taking a look at your global forecasting system model as we are tracking that storm system for the southeast. That's going to be the more important portion of this video before we talk about next week. So we can see here for 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for your Saturday, we have moderate to heavy rainfall. We got thunderstorms. We got strong winds to contend with as this system spins its way up the coast into the Carolinas over the next 24 hours. And remember, there is a risk for flash flooding. So if you're out and about tonight for the weekend and you're driving, make sure you are aware of flooded roadways. There could be some flooding at night that is hard to detect. And so make sure you turn around, don't drown when you're encountering those flooded waters, okay? Because you never know how deep the water could be. So this continues all the way through Sunday morning, 7 in the morning for your 12th of February. That rain is coming down pretty good over Virginia Beach, over Norfolk, over Virginia, over North Carolina, over eastern Tennessee, northern Georgia. Thunderstorms, gusty winds, kind of squally-like system to contend with, going to bring in impacts, and it's going to stay that way through tomorrow. Okay, and so by 7 p.m., that system is finally clearing out of the area, leaving Monday morning pretty dry, other than maybe some chilly temperatures to contend with, but otherwise looking pretty dry for your morning commute on Monday. Overall, the entire U.S. looking pretty good too. The northern tier, the Great Lakes, no problems at all for your Monday. If you're headed south on and through Texas, looking pretty good for your Monday morning. If you're across California, maybe some showers here and there, especially for Southern California and Arizona, and also for the Pacific Northwest. Continuing with more snow and more rainy weather coming, but doesn't look very significant by any standards at all. Okay. So by 7 p.m. on Monday, a system does try to develop, okay? There's a trough over here, and that trough is going to eject into the high plains and the deep south on Monday, okay? Monday evening, Monday night into Tuesday is where we're going to start getting the ingredients going for severe weather. So for Texas, for 7 p.m., looks pretty good overall. Maybe a couple of pop-up showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two. Most of the lifting mechanism is going to be over New Mexico and Colorado. But take note of these isobars. They're a little tight. And you know what high pressure likes to do, right? There's more air over here. There's lower pressure over here. So your winds are going to be coming in out of the southerly direction. What does that do? That pulls in moisture off the Gulf of Mexico ahead of our severe weather episode on Tuesday. In fact, by Tuesday morning, 7 in the morning, it's going to be really stormy. So if you're headed out early in the morning for work, if you're doing any commuting, if you're going to any friend's house, if you're going anywhere on Tuesday, just be aware we're going to have stormy conditions from eastern Texas into eastern Oklahoma, into Kansas, into Missouri, into portion there of say Louisiana and Arkansas, into Iowa. We have this cold front that is going to be causing a lot of lift. Okay, so cold air is denser, and so the warmer air coming off the Gulf is lighter, and so wants to go up and over the cold air. So we're going to be looking at a lot of stormy weather here and severe weather as well. Take note of this pressure fall too, 987 millibars over Colorado, and so your isobars here are going to be extremely tight. So Even so, you may not get a lot of rain here. You're going to get a lot of winds that come off the New Mexico plateau. We might even see fire danger too, because it's been pretty dry there overall. And so any strong dry winds that come off the New Mexico plateau could really spark fires. And so something to be considered for Tuesday over Texas. Strong winds, warmer temperatures, that sort of thing. So by Tuesday night, that system, the first ejection out of part 2 is coming. So the first one moving into the Great Lakes here, bringing again maybe some severe weather further south, but most of the energy with this is going to be concentrated around the surface low and to the north, where we have a lot of rainfall. No snow is anticipated with this one, so you can not worry about the snow shovels at all. But to the north, we might get a little bit of snow that does try to accumulate, but very, very small. Not very much at all to speak of with this winter storm. Now, that moves out. Okay, that's not the biggest part of this forecast. It's going to be Wednesday. So part 1 brings in severe weather, and then part 2 comes in on Wednesday. And so you can see by Wednesday afternoon, 7 p.m., we have that snowstorm. Look at this, moderate to heavy snowfall on the northern side of this. This has more colder air with it versus the first impulse of moisture on Monday and Tuesday. And also, not only that, there is going to be more moisture advection too. So that's going to actually spark thunderstorms. We have a nice, well-defined warm sector here. We have a cold front, that is going to be draped across eastern Texas into Louisiana, Arkansas, within this low pressure center. And then we have got a warm front that is going to be draped across, say, Virginia into Ohio, into Indiana. And so any supercells that do try to develop and they ride the warm front, we could be continuing with maybe some tornadic supercells. Further south, we could also see supercells and strong, severe thunderstorms. But on the northwestern side of the system, that's where the snow is going to be a problem. Yes, storm number 2 or impulse number 2 within the same broader sector environment is going to be the one to watch. That's the midweek storm. Heavy snow, strong winds. Pressure, not as low as the first one, but it won't matter because you also have a stronger pressure gradient difference between the high over the Rockies and the low over the Great Lakes. As matters of fact, by 7 p.m. on Thursday, we are looking at some very intense thunderstorm development here. Possibly a big-time severe weather event could be possible on Thursday from Louisiana into Mississippi, into Alabama and Tennessee, including for eastern Tennessee and Kentucky. Got to really watch this closely because we have a lot of directional and speed shear, and we also have a lot of upper level wind energy and forcing mechanism for severe weather to really be a problem here for the deep south and even into the upper Midwest. And there's your surface low, 987 with moderate to heavy snowfall that is anticipated. All right, take note. The confidence level here is a level 7 out of 10, which means we have a high confidence that this system is going to be a thing to be concerned about. So now by Friday morning, that front kind of moves slower across the eastern half of the U.S., like the eastern seaboard and the southeast. Again, strong thunderstorms are still anticipated, along to go with really strong winds coming in out of the south, that right up along the cold front, and we could get a few semi-discrete storms capable of a spin-up or two along the boundary. Then, by the time we go into Friday evening and Friday night, high pressure settles back in. That brings in drier weather and much colder temperatures. Take note here, some snow flurries possible also across the Great Lakes, illustrating that this Arctic high is going to be fairly strong, and it's going to bring your temperatures down quite a bit on the backside of that front. So now let's take a look at your European model for Saturday, February the 11th, 2023. Again, we like to look at 2 global models for this reasoning. So that way I'm doing my job and we can get with our day very well. And that way I'm more reliable for you all that rely on my forecasts very much. So this is a look at the Euro model for Saturday. And again, there's your storm. This continues all the way to 7 a.m. on Sunday, Eastern Standard Time. So again, if you're going to church, if you're doing anything outdoors, Yeah, it's going to be stormy. A lot of wind, lots of issues there for the eastern seaboard this weekend. And then dry weather precludes. And then guess what? We got another system. The European and GFS are all in agreement that this is going to exist, and that's why we got severe weather to talk about on your Tuesday. This is for northeastern Texas. This is for eastern and central Oklahoma. The European model wants to pop up the storms a little sooner than the GFS. That has this slightly further east. And over Kansas, you got some showers and thunderstorms. And then, of course, you can see by 7 p.m. on Tuesday, there is your cold front. Look at this. Pretty well defined here. You can't miss it very much. Showers and thunderstorms along the boundary. You got snow. The European has more colder air with this, which is why it has more snow on the northern side of the system. So this yields still some low confidence, but if you do see snow, it's probably going to only amount to maybe about an inch to maybe a couple of inches at the very most. Nothing too significant as far as snow goes, but the winds will be a thing to not forget about. Air pressure, 992. Tight isobars, that means winds are going to be quite strong. And then you get impulse number 2. Remember, we saw that on the GFS. The European is also trying to spit out something very similar, only that it's not quite as strong as the GFS. 1,003 millibars with moderate to heavy snowfall over Kansas, over Iowa, Nebraska, and northern Missouri. Further south, where you do have that warm air advection off the Gulf of Mexico, this is where we have semi-discrete rogue supercells that could, again, be tornadic. We have the shear, we got the instability, and that, again, will help facilitate a severe weather, maybe a multi-day threat for nasty weather here from Tuesday, possibly through Thursday, and maybe even into Friday, early on in the forecast period. So maybe 2 or 3 days here, we are looking at some severe weather. And that means what? David Schlotthauer is going live by the middle of the week, tracking this storm for you all. And then that continues by the time we go into 7 p.m. on Thursday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. Again, supercells could be a problem here over to the Tennessee Valley and further south, as that low brings moderate to heavy snowfall on the European model over Michigan. Okay, so that's comparison of the two models. There goes the origami bird. And the origami bird is telling us by day 5, there is a 15% chance for severe weather, kind of illustrating with what I just talked about and what I covered. We're concerned about this, except this is for Wednesday into Thursday. I'm really surprised they're not issuing anything for Tuesday. That would be day 4. I don't know why. Swallowed a fly, but I'm telling you, I think there's going to be a slight risk on Tuesday, especially for eastern Texas and Oklahoma. That's probably where the best chances of any severe weather will likely be. But for sure on Wednesday into Thursday, over Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, over central and northern Louisiana, much of Arkansas and southeastern Oklahoma, and western Mississippi and western Tennessee, like the Memphis area, definitely need to be on guard here because you have a 15% chance of severe weather on day 5. Now, day 6, there's a slight risk for severe weather. And again, that illustrates of the broader warm sector that we talked about on the global models, really showing this pretty well. So therefore, the Storm Prediction Center has issued a 15% chance, slight risk for severe weather on day 6. All the way from New Orleans, Louisiana, into Mobile, Alabama, and Mississippi, over the Biloxi, and to the north over central portion of Tennessee, like Nashville, into central and northern portion there of Kentucky, and southern Indiana and Ohio under the 15% risk here for severe weather. So now that we talked about severe weather, again, this could include tornadoes, damaging winds, and some large hail. Primarily a wind and tornado threat will probably be a sure bet with this system. Okay, so now temperatures, it's going to warm up. Not going to see any more cold air coming down, except maybe on the backside of the impulse that you're getting now. But otherwise, temperatures are going to warm up. Say goodbye to the 40s during the day, maybe even some 50s. You can say goodbye to those because by Sunday, temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 60s over Texas, over Oklahoma. If you're in Florida, looking pretty nice there. mid to upper 60s, even some low 70s during the day. The coldest spots here locally would be in the eastern seaboard here, right across the Appalachians, where you might stay in the 40s and 30s during the day. But otherwise, going to be warming up there too. By Monday, it's looking really good. The day before Valentine's Day, for Texas, for Louisiana, for Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, temperatures going to be in the 60s and 70s. Look, we got some 60s near that location of portion there of St. Louis, Missouri, and even some 60s perhaps near, say, Kansas City and to the west. Going to be really warm. Not much cold air at all. This continues on Valentine's Day. Yes, Valentine's Day, gonna be nice and warm to do anything outdoors, but watch the skies. When thunder roars, go indoors, please. Especially if you are in eastern Texas and Oklahoma, temperatures are gonna be in the 70s and 60s, but again, stormy skies in the afternoon will really make things a little bit interesting for your Valentine's dinner if you're taking your girl out or if you're taking anyone out on a date. All right, if you're in Florida, temperatures in the 70s and close to 80s on Tuesday, and that's because, again, warmer air is going to be moving in. It's going to warm up each day, so make sure you get your shorts out and get those on because it's going to be a little muggy and warm for this upcoming week. So temperature anomalies going to be above average, below average because of that system over the southeast. Temperatures 15 to 20 degrees below normal. Temperatures 10 to 15 degrees above normal across the Great Lakes, the northern tier, and the Midwest. That continues into Monday with temperatures that are going to be, again, warming up further. So you're going to have temperatures 10 to 20 degrees above normal across much of the Midwest. Back west, temperatures are going to be a lot nicer, more seasonable for this time of the year, except for Arizona. Temperatures there could be 10 to 20 degrees below normal, and then the pattern changes. By Tuesday, it gets colder back west, 10 to 20 degree temperature below average. If you're in the Midwest and the Great Lakes, temperature's going to further warm up, 15 to 25 degrees above normal, and then, of course, for Wednesday, temperatures 10 to 20 degrees, maybe 30 degrees above normal here as warmer air advection gets going, and that continues really warm for the southeast, folks. This week, make sure you are dressed in for the warm weather and mild weather. Then, of course, for the east or western half of the U.S., it'll be much colder. All right, well, thank you all for watching. Again, just to review with what we talked about, weekend storm still looking impactful for the southeast. Next week's storm looks very strong with severe weather episodes for a few days perhaps. And then, of course, we talked about those temperatures. Going to be warming up back east, cooling off back west. So again, temperature swings are expected with some wickedness with those temperatures as well. But if you guys like the content, you like the detail, you want me to do more of these videos, I'm trying to keep this on a consistent schedule where I upload every day. I'm looking into perhaps maybe doing 2 videos a day permanently, only if my schedule allows it. I would have to do one super early in the morning and, do one in the afternoon, which takes a lot of my time out of my day. I'll try to do something special for you all that watch the channel, but you can only do that if you subscribe and hit the like button. Show your support, folks, and also share this. Got to get this out to a lot of people because, again, at the end of the day, I do save people's lives, or the entire weather community does. Not just me, but other people out there. So I'm one of those people that tries my best at keeping you all weather aware all season long when it comes to any craziness that does occur. But that's going to do with this video, folks. Thank you all for watching. Share, like, and subscribe, and I'll be back with you more tomorrow with another detailed weather video.